Day 4. Today we have a full day with the nature and its offer. Hence emerge as nature admiring and blending with the valley and which covered with the stout bamboos, peaceful streams that flow on the contour of mountain makes it more beautiful and attractive. A small descent and overnight tent. It is not the mountain we conquer but ourselves. We need special shoes for hiking and bit of a special soul as well. If you think you have
Sangeeta, hi.
find a new mountain, in every walk with nature, one receives far more than he or she seeks. Preserve and cherish the pale blue dot. It's the only home we have ever known. The richness
वो मेरा बेटा
we
लेके जा सकता
achieve
है.
come from nature, the source of inspiration. Tranquility, serenity, and beauty of nature taught us how to find happiness in the life and in the silence of eternity. Why do we visit again and again mountains, big skis, open spaces, green forest? Whatever may be the benefit of hiking, emotional, psychological, and physical well being, but the sitting quietly and watching the changing colors of ski, clouds, and green mountains because it is not a escapism, it's a realism. The people who chose to spend time outdoor are not running away from anything but returning to where they belong. Quote of Jennifer Far Davis. Each step that we hike, in each contact we make the ground. It is the most traditional and historic way of traveling and experience the world around us, unpowered by anything man-made except ourselves. Almost every step we take, especially when we get away from the congestion and into the quieter path of the world, evoke this feeling of connectedness. This is the real reality. We are returning to where we belong. Look deep into the nature and you will understand everything better, says Albert Einstein. This feeling is so strong that is much to learn from nature, not just about life but also about ourselves and about learning to be in present. Nature is a wise and true teacher only if we stop, breathe in and listen. If you think adventure is dangerous, try routine. It's lethal, said Paulo Coelho. Singing and dancing together felt happy, free, independent, and best of all, adventurous. Somewhere between the bottom of the climb and the summit is the answer to the mystery why we climb, says Greg Child. And this is true that the best view came after the hardest climb. Nature is not a place to visit, it's a home. Not all those who wander are the lost. Everyone wants to live on the top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you are climbing it, says Andy Rooney. It always seems impossible until we have done it, says Nelson Mandela. If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. If you are off to great places, today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not starve. This is a Confucius saying. The foot that is restless will tend on the turd. Walking is a woman's best medicine, says Hippocrates. And science has proven that exercise is important for not just our physical health but our mental health as well. And one more caution to be taken while trekking: carry as little as possible but choose that little with care. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lao Tzu has said, for those who climb, the answer is both obvious and impossible to explain. The everyday concern of livelihood, of social standing, overdue bills, and futureless romance of all fell away before the vast and overwhelming absolute of mountain. We can't climb up a mountain with the downhill thoughts. Thousands of tired, nerve-shaken, over-civilized people are beginning to find out that going to mountain is going to home, that wilderness is necessary, says John Munir. Mountains have a way of dealing with overconfidence. Climbing is as close as we can come to flying. It is not the mountain we conquer but ourselves. Hike your own hikes. Look deep into the nature and you will understand everything better. No matter what form it took, the mountains have been the most enchanting place more than everywhere else. For the longest time, mankind was made for adventure, exploration, and the mountains. Without mountains, we would have not able to wax lyrical about the stars, the skies above us, what is in the horizon, or even learn about who we are. Standing in front of the mountain, out there in the wild, we make the memories that form us, and that's all thanks to the stories of triumphs, sadness, achievement that we have heard about mountains. The ruggedness and the structure of mountains draw your eye in. How cool would it be in a place where you are really inspired and create right there? Mountains are not stadiums where one can satisfy their ambitions to achieve, but they are the cathedral where one can practice their religions. When we walk and finally concluded to stay out till the sundown for going out, we found really it going in. Mountains are Earth's undecaying monuments. Rather, it would be a thinking of God than the church thinking about mountains for maybe this the religious people. Mountaineering is lot like hitting yourself in the head with a hammer, and damn glad when it over, but interesting, making interesting stories and tales. When you are in deepest valley, you can ever know how magnificent and to be the highest on the mountain. Some places maybe feel like heaven, or some places may be more dangerous than home. But fear not, therefore, to try mountain passes. They will kill your care and save you from deadliest apathy, set you free and call forth every faculty into vigorous, enthusiastic action. It always further than it looks. It always taller than it looks, and it always harder than it looks. Mountain climbing is long period of boredom interspersed with a few seconds of sheer terror and of more stories, more insight, and more happening. And it is a magic which will never die. So, if you cannot understand that there is a something in man which responds to the challenge of that mountain and goes out to meet it, that struggle is the struggle of life itself, upward, forever upward, then you won't see why we go. What we get from this adventure is just a sheer joy, and joy is, after all, the end of life. We do not live to eat, make money. We eat and make money to able to enjoy life. That is what life means and what life is for, said George Louis Mallory. Those personal values which we gain from our approach to the mountains are great enough to enrich our life. Is not the irritability of its very lack of purpose the deepest argument of climbing. We cannot lower the mountains, therefore we must elevate ourselves. Anyone who has among mountains knows their indifference, has felt a brief, blazing sense of world's disinterest in us in small measures. This feeling, exaggerated and full form, it annihilates.